Дева чистая, Пресвятая Мария, Дева чистая, Пресвятая Мария, Дева чистая, Пресвятая Мария, Дева чистая, Мария, Дева чистая, Пресвятая Мария, Дева чистая, Пресвятая Мария, Дева чистая, Пресвятая Мария.
Three, two, one, and we are live. Alright guys, welcome back to the live stream. Happy Valentine's Day everybody. Bold Bobby is back, freshly shaved, for the occasion of Valentine's Day of course. I went to the restaurant with my girl. Just kidding, restaurants are all closed of course. I bought her just a couple of flowers. Kidding as well, there are no flowers. Everything was closed today because of Kudat's virus, as you saw maybe in my previous video that I uploaded yesterday. Welcome everybody, good to see you. It is Sunday, let's chill, let's relax, let's have a good stream hangout together. Let me know if you can hear me well. Maybe, just maybe, the microphone is a little bit too loud, so let me know if it is too loud, if it is good, if you can hear me well. Mic check, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna start rapping.
It's showtime.
Yes, exactly. No head Bobby today. Today we had 19 degrees and sunshine. Fantastic. Every winter I forget how beautiful it is to have sunshine. I lived in Germany for 27 years basically, until I left to Australia, and from there I went to Southeast Asia, to South America, etc, etc, etc. And I was chasing the sun, basically. It was an amazing time. I simply wanted to escape the winter forever. But now I'm back in Europe, and yes, we were freezing for quite some time. Today, the first sunny, beautiful day here. And this is a good occasion to take the hat off. That is it. So, who's in the chat? Predominantly, as always, Bulgarians. Zdrasti, zdravete. Beautiful. Always happy to hear. We had a offline super chat by the Jihad, or the Jihad, not too sure. Has donated $10. Thank you very much. Says, Bobby, if you not did already, listen this. And he linked a YouTube video. I'm gonna check it out later, my friend. Thank you very much. I already saw it is a rap video. We cannot play any music here on this channel without getting demonetized. I'm gonna watch it privately. So thank you very much for the support. Welsh Boy 1990. Hey Bobby, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Thank you for the support. I uploaded a video in the member section, so only for the members of this channel I upload a video today. The rest of you will be able to see this one tomorrow. Anyways, guys, as always, if you want to support this channel, all the links are in the description box. You can simply leave a like as well. That always helps. Let me check. We have 73 people watching right now and only 20 likes. Absolute no-go. Come on, guys. If you can support, otherwise, that is understandable. But leave it a quick thumbs up. It always helps this channel out. Thank you very much. And other people, Streamlabs donations, super chats, great way to donate, to help out. And more than that, now finally I have my crypto wallet link as well. Yes, everybody hates me for it. Bobby sold out yet again, and it is linked via Paystring. Let me know, all the crypto gangsters here, if Paystring is a good viable option for you guys. I'm relatively new to this. Other than that, you can use my referral link for crypto.com. That's an app that I'm using at the moment. I like it. I use Binance as well, but I actually like crypto.com better because, yeah, it's easier to use. And you all know I am Boomer Bobby. Yes, that's me. Anyways, guys, today many different topics. First, I'm gonna spend some time here in the chat. Just gonna have a little hangout. I don't feel like playing the Anchorman right away, so just gonna hang out with you guys first and foremost. Gonna try to answer as many questions as I can, and then we're gonna go from there. We have good news for the American Trump supporters, or for Trump supporters in general. The impeachment didn't work out, so that is great to hear. We're going to talk about that quickly, and we're going to talk about yet again, new restrictions and changes and potential saviors of our civilization. Ordered Bitcoin node waiting on it. Good stuff. King Navish asked me, why TF did you go vegan again? Why did I go vegan? I mean, in the end, you always have to truly ask where it really originated from, to just say, hey, I went vegan for the animals, or I went vegan for health reasons, or whatever. I think that's not the whole answer, right? So you have to go way back in time and really analyze a person to understand what led to it to begin with. And I believe that is some sort of trauma. So in my case, when I was very, very little, I think I was 5 years old, maybe even younger, man, 4 years, something like that. I saw my first slaughter, and it was of a little piglet. And the thing is that I played with that piglet before it got slaughtered. And yeah, that was very traumatizing to me as a little child. So therefore, that is something that I definitely kept in the back of my head. And on top of that, obviously, watching Disney movies, right, growing up like that, feeling very connected to animals, etc., etc., etc. And then at some point in time, getting into spiritual topics, right? We see that a lot of Hindus, Buddhists, they turn out to be vegetarians, etc., etc. And yeah, that is somewhat of my background motivation then. And in the end, I really didn't feel that good anymore with the way that I was eating at that point. And therefore, I wanted to try to get away from the meat, because from my worldview, which now looking back was pretty flawed, I was still trying to make sense of this reality and how we could escape suffering in that sense. I stumbled across veganism and believed it to be our solution. So yeah, in the beginning, it was a ethical / quote-unquote spiritual motivation. That's why I went vegan. In the end, I was
wrong.
Exactly. All right, let me see. Pink Supremacy is here. Yo, Bobby, good to be back. Good to see you again, bro. 2 different regions pulled the AstraZeneca vaccine due to too many side effects when hospital staff got vaccinated in Sweden. People still line up though. People will do whatever you tell them to do. It's quite amazing. As I said in my video from yesterday, unbelievable. Nobody told them to mask up all the time. It's not mandatory, just in crowded areas. Still, people will mask up no matter where they go. So I haven't seen a regular face in months and months on end here. But if the people believe that this is the right thing to do. Just now, I went for a little walk with my girl, and I saw this little kid, let it be 12 or 13 years old, holding hands with his mom, both masked up and giving us the look, right? Why are you not wearing masks? Because me and my girl, we never wear masks. On that note, when you're 13 years old, you shouldn't be holding hands with your mom. That's pathetic, alright? What a little soy boy. Unbelievable. They're creating weak men from the get-go. What do you expect from a kid that's 13 years old? They don't have any shame anymore. It's unbelievable. When I was 6 years old, I remember that, my mom wanted to hold my hand, and I pulled away because I was embarrassed. I don't want to look like a mommy's boy, right? As a 6-year-old, I already thought that way. And nowadays I see kids 13 years old holding hands with their mama. Come on, man. What is that? Unbelievable. Ridiculous. And then they go vegan. Obviously. Beat up baby. 100%. Soy boy children. Soy kids. Disney is evil. Yes, absolutely. Humans are natural frutavores. You mean frugivores. But yeah, I heard about that theory. You can transact on Binance right away. You just can't take it out. Yeah, I'm working with Binance, but crypto.com as well. I'm very happy with crypto. I have my majority of my assets on crypto.com, but I am playing around on Binance as well. Okay. The Mongols are here, exactly. Mongols and Tatars. As every single stream, we have the invasion of Mongols and Tatars. Today I had a very interesting talk on Instagram as well. Believe it or not, I'm getting almost on a daily messages from Macedonists that tell me quite interesting, amazing historical facts that I couldn't think of myself, right? So, check this out. I'm going to read it out to you. This was hilarious. Somebody, I'm going to keep him censored and anonymous. I'm not a snitch. Wrote, Bobby, so that is now me speaking allegedly, in quotation marks, Macedonians are Greeks, and if Macedonians see Alexander the Great as their hero, then learn Greek. So he paraphrases what I said. I didn't say it that way. I said that if Alexander is your national hero, why wouldn't you Hellenize? Because that is the culture that Alexander was spreading. And then also Bobby and other Bulgarians, Khan Asparu is an important man in our history, even though he doesn't look very much like today's Bulgarians. Yes, that is what I have to deal with here on a daily basis. Quite amazing. You can't explain anything to those people. Why am I even trying? Honestly, why am I even trying? But again, 1 minute of my effort, maybe it will reach some ears. The reason I said that, yet again, it is just sensical. Alexander the Great was identifying as Greek, and he was speaking Greek. He had Greek teachers, and he was spreading a Greek culture. That is what he did. So if you identify with him as your national founding father, then of course you should identify with his teachings, his culture. And that's what you do not do. Now, Khan Asparu, who was a Bulgar, not a Bulgarian in that sense, but a Bulgar, is not the creator of modern day Bulgaria, right? The creator of modern day Bulgaria would be Boris, right? Boris brought the Slavs and the Bulgars together and created Bulgaria, right? He created, or rather established, the Slavic Church. Before that, there was only the Greek Orthodox Church. He established the Slavic Church. He established the language, the text, etc., etc. He had a uniform way for his empire, right? And therefore, this is what we see as modern-day Bulgarian. Makes all the sense in the world. But yet again, don't try to debate with any Macedonist, especially not with the younger ones that are still brainwashed. I was brainwashed myself, but not to such an extent, right? I took it basically as gospel. I thought that we are being attacked by our neighbors. But if you really want to find out, you will be able to find out. So much material out there is really not hard. Anyways, talking about the Slavic Church, somebody in the chat said, you shouldn't call yourself an Orthodox. You should call yourself a Christian. So first and foremost, I shouldn't call myself whatever, right? I can call myself if I want to. Of course, those are certain labels. However, we have to distinguish, right? We have to distinguish, and let's be honest. The Catholic Church, for example, has been doing very, very evil deeds, if not representing Satan himself on this planet. I say that's a fair assessment. Orthodoxy, I said it before, is and was and always will be the first original church. So if you're looking for an authentic way of Christianity, you can't look past Orthodoxy. That is the most authentic it will get. The Great Schism only happened because the Catholics came up with new views, such as having a papacy, etc., 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 right? And once that happens, basically everything goes down the drain, and this is why we see so much degeneracy in the Catholic Church nowadays, right? And therefore, yes, we definitely have to distinguish. We definitely have to talk about it. Check this out. German nuns sold orphaned children to sexual predators. Of course, we are speaking about Catholic nuns here, right? 6 sisters, they call this article. A report German authorities tried to silence shows how Catholic nuns peddled orphan boys to predatory priests and perverts for decades. We're kind of numb to this nowadays because we heard about it plenty of times, multiple times. But this doesn't happen only due to the wickedness of some people, but we know that there is an abundance of homosexuals and pedophiles within the Catholic Church. It's a breeding ground for those perverts. Rome, a jarring report outlining decades of rampant child sex abuse at the hands of greedy nuns and perverted priests. As you can see, this article might not be the most serious source, but nevertheless, it definitely happened. Paints a troubling picture of systematic abuse in the German church. The report is the byproduct of a lawsuit alleging that orphaned boys living in the boarding houses of the Order of the Sisters of the Divine Redeemer were sold or loaned for weeks at a time to predatory priests and businessmen in a sick rape trade. Wow, disgusting. The men involved in the lawsuit say as boys they were denied being adopted out or sent to foster families because selling them for rape lined the sisters' coffers for their convent of horrors. Some of the boys were then groomed to be sex slaves to perverts, the report claims. Absolutely disgusting. Yet again, this is why I distinguish this proudly, and I want to emphasize, yes, I'm a Christian Orthodox, right? Yet again, do we have corruption in men? Sure. Father Seraphim Rose said it himself. The most wicked men live in the church, so therefore I'm not going to say that everybody in the Orthodox Church is automatically a saint, but we have to understand that those wicked practices that led to the schism lead into further degeneracy. That's really what is going on. So we definitely have to talk about this. And therefore, I don't know who said it now in the chat, but yeah, Christian Orthodox, 100%. Here you have another one. German nuns rented orphaned boys to businessmen for gangbangs and orgies. Suppressed reports seen by media. This Cologne, isn't it? Disgusting. A report being withheld from public documents horrific acts of rape and sexual abuse against young boys that were facilitated by nuns belonging to the Catholic Archdiocese of Cologne, in Germany, according to the Daily Beast. Repulsive. Absolutely repulsive. But this is what is going on. We know that the Catholic Church, I don't even want to call it the Catholic Church, to be honest, because I don't believe it is a legitimate church. I think there's only one church, right? So yeah, wicked, wicked people, disgusting. Let's not go down that rabbit hole. But a quick explanation to the question why I say Christian Orthodox. But of course, yes, we wouldn't be in the position to label ourselves. We would say that we are Christians if we wouldn't see so much corruption and separation and creation of new alleged so-called churches. That's that. Protestants are even worse than that. Yeah, and I understand the motivation of Protestantism back in the day because they had no chance to experience orthodoxy. They were under Catholicism and they want to break away from Catholicism, which I fully comprehend, but it of course leads to more heresies. Right? Anyhow, Catholics are not Christians. Exactly, that's what I say. Meanwhile, I have of course friends that are by default Catholics, and they're the nicest people. It doesn't make them automatically bad. But if you really look into it, hashtag look into it, you will find out why the Catholic Church is a church of corruption. Just a sip of water. Fantastic. Thor and Jupiter are the one true gods. Those are already two guys. Grim says, I had a bootleg Catholic upbringing. My mother would offload her responsibility on God and my grandparents, and my representation of God in the house is beta. Beta! I think they mean it will eventually crash permanently, although Bitcoin is different. Guys, honestly, I recorded a video on Bitcoin, by the way, my personal views, and I will upload it in maybe 2 or 3 days or so. But quickly, I'm gonna try to keep it as concise as I can. 10 years ago, you had plenty of naysayers hating on Bitcoin, saying that it is not sustainable, that it won't work, yada 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 yada. It is the same pattern that we saw back in the 90s when the internet came about. Or I'm sure our parents can tell us the same about when the TV was invented. It is inevitable. You have to ask yourself 2 simple questions. First question is, do you think that money, the way that we know it, will exist in 10, 20, 30 years' time? Be honest to yourself. Don't be ideological about it. I know that we don't want the digital money. It is the Antichrist system, etc., etc. I get it, right? I'm a Christian Orthodox. I understand the risks. I understand the dangers. But think about it logically. Take your ideology away. Don't judge it. Don't judge the question. Don't think about it in negative or positive ways. Just simply answer based on simple observation. What do you believe? Will the monetary system look the exact same way in the next 30 years? If you're honest to yourself, you know that it won't. Just know that it won't. You can blame the authorities, you can blame the elite, but it is inevitable. You cannot truly, honestly say that it won't change. It will change. Okay, if you're honest, we establish that it will change. The question is, of course, how will it change? Right? That's the second question. How will it change? How will it look like? The answer, again, if you're honest, is digital. Right? Again, of course it is. So now you can judge it again. You can say, oh, the chip is coming, this and that. And it probably will. But it is inevitable that it will be digital. So now, if you answered yes on both questions, basically, you have to go from there. So we'll have a change in our monetary system. It will be a digital currency. Question is now, that's 3 questions. Question is now, will it be just regular online banking, the way that we have it right now? Of course not, right? It is crypto. Crypto technology is not only for banking. Crypto technology is not only to make money, right? Crypto technology is a fantastic technology. That's just what it is. If you really look at it, you will understand that's a fantastic technology that can revolutionize pretty much everything we know about the internet. If you look at electricity, electricity is just too good to ignore, right? You can watch me now. You can put light on. I have a light on right here. You can cook. Electricity is just too good. You cannot suppress it. The technology is just too good. The same applies to the internet, obviously. Too good. Many naysayers in the beginning, many haters, many deniers, like the corona deniers here on this channel. But in the end, you will have to accept it because the technology is too good. Same applies to cars, to planes, etc., etc. Long story short, crypto itself is a phenomenal technology. Its potential is unbelievable. Will it be Bitcoin long term? That is another question. It seems very, very promising, but we do not know. The idea of Bitcoin is, of course, absolutely beautiful, but I'm not ignorant, right? I don't believe that we are living in this lovey-dovey space where everything is just good and therefore it must be good. The intention behind it is, of course, noble. You cut out the middleman. You get rid of the banks. And believe me, that is fantastic. You have no limit on the transactions. You can pay anywhere, anytime, and nobody has a monopoly on your money. That is really fantastic. And the best thing about it, I personally don't want to use euros or dollars. All the people that are complaining about cryptocurrency and tell me how it is of the devil, it's the worst thing on earth, yeah, sure, are still using dollars or euros. I personally do not want to use the money of this system that I believe is very flawed. So to have an alternative, you must come up with something, right? If you say, oh, I hate the city, I don't want to live in the city, cool, move to a village. If you say, I don't want to live in the village, you can move to a jungle if you want to, right? There is an option for you, but you will have to make it happen. You will have to have an alternative. How will you sustain yourself? Are you a hunter? Will you grow your own food? What will you do? And now, all I see, yet again, is naysayers, negative people. Oh, crypto is the devil. Okay, how will you live in this system? Will you still use the money that this system is creating? Of course, they will get rid of cash anyways. Then they will create the e-dollar or the e-euro. What will you do? You don't want to invest in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies right now. Guess what? Adaptation. You will have to adapt if you want to keep up with the system. If you want to leave it all together, great, then you need an exit strategy as well. Yes, right? Imagine that. So if you want to exit the system, you still need some sort of assets. Do you have enough gold? Do you have enough land? How will you escape this system? So you have to create some revenue, some wealth. And me personally, I do not want to use their euros and their dollars. It's that simple. As long as people give Bitcoin value, it has value. And even if the price drops, it still has value. And for me, that is the most beautiful part of it. Of course, it's amazing to make money with crypto. We all want that, ideally, sure. But me personally, I never want to change that money into fiat currency. Fiat currency being euros or dollars. I don't want to. Ideally, the money that I make, I will pay somebody in cryptocurrency and buy a house with it. Ideally. And to be honest, yet again, if you just analyze the market a little bit and you see how it is happening, what has been happening, bright green future with crypto for everybody. Alright, so thank you very much. We have a super chat donation by Truth Sun. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. $5. The first one today, the first one that supports today, of course. Present financial order has been imploding before our eyes. Those that see, it will be digital. Technology is not evil. It's the motivation that is evil. And another applause. Exactly right. Exactly right. That's what it is. Technology itself, obviously, we don't even have to speak about it. Simple, right? I can take a knife and cut my food with it, or I can kill somebody. So obviously the intention behind it has to be good. I am very well aware. Again, crypto, MIPTO, internet, schminternet, everything can be used for evil. Because guess what? We have evil people in charge. Obviously. But if you really look at the Great Reset, Klaus Schwab, you will see that the motivation is to create a digital dollar, digital euro in crypto, for sure. But this is what they want to create. And of course, most sheeple, they will follow and they will buy those assets, which is dumb, right? They will own nothing, basically. What we want is to keep the Bitcoin, keep Ethereum, what have you, and to use it as our payment method, because we do not want to rely on the government's money. That's simple. If I paint a picture and you say it has a certain value for you, nobody can stop us to have an exchange. Do you understand this? Right? So if I say, man, I love this picture, and you have a car, and I say, I'm willing to trade this picture for this car. This is the value that we both assess it. Then we can do it. Nobody can stop us doing that. Right? It's a trade. It's a free market. Still. Thank God. Still. Right? And this is how it is with cryptocurrency. As long as we give it value, it will always have value. Right? Gold doesn't have any intrinsic value. It's just metal. You cannot eat it. So people started exchanging gold for meat. Right? Quite amazing if you really think about it, because you cannot eat gold. But because we gave it a certain value, we can take gold and we can buy something else with it. Fantastic. This is what humans did. And this is what humans still do. And this is where this is headed. So I said I'm going to keep it short. I didn't really succeed with that. But that is my motivation behind it. I'm very well aware that the big guys will want to crash Bitcoin at some point. We all need certain exit strategies. We have to be smart about it. But the reality is that most people are suffering at the moment because they are dumb. It's a fact. They're dumb. They don't have the financial IQ. And they do not understand the potential of it. I can't see how you still are not able to recognize this potential if you know very well that the future is digitalized. But yet again, most normies, they will be against it on, it's a scam, it's a gamble, yada, yada, yada. And then in the end, they're all going to use euros, dollars. That's what it is. Shill perspective, exactly, right? I'm shilling. It's the most amazing thing because think back, when I was a vegan and I started eating meat again, what did everybody say? Oh, Bobby sold out. Bobby sold out. Yes, he's a shill. He's shilling for the meat industry. Then, when I realized the truth about Macedonia, the truth about Bulgaria, the truth about our ethnicity, what did everybody say? Oh, shill sold out. The Greeks paid him. The Bulgarians paid him. Right? And now it's the same. This channel is called Bobby's Perspective. Always share my views. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch. No worries. Bye-bye. See you. And I found crypto to be a great investment. I find it absolutely fantastic and I see it as the future 100%. Prove me otherwise. But now, again, I sold out. I'm a shill. As always. Right? It's quite amazing. Every time people face some sort of cognitive bias, they want to cling onto their worldview. And, up until yesterday, Bobby was on the same level like me. But now he sees it differently than me. And that destroys their worldview, their little mind. They cannot keep it. And this is why they're going to attack you. You're a shill. That's quite amazing. So right now I'm getting money from the meat industry. I'm getting money from the dairy industry. I'm getting money from the Bulgarian government. I'm getting money from the Greek government as well. And now finally, it's actually, okay, I'm going to tell you, it is of course Elon Musk that gave me a fair share of those 1.5 billion Bitcoins, right? Of course. Okay. Death to vegans, here from a Sverage livestream. You don't have to wish death to vegans. They're gonna die anyways if they keep on eating vegan. So don't be that nasty to them. They're suffering. Sveti is in Bulgaria. Oh, good for him, man. Nice. Fantastic. And we have a super chat by Goiko Borisov. Thank you very much. $5, appreciate it. Hi Bobby, did you hear about the Lukov Marsh event in Bulgaria? No, I haven't. Do you have an opinion on it? No, I haven't heard about it, but I can check it out. Just give me a second. As always, guys, Streamlab donations, Super Chat donations, no matter what the question is, we research it in depth here. So if you have any questions, we can always pull it up. If there's a video that you want to watch, we can pull that up too and watch it together live. So let me check. Lukov Marsh. Let me see what that is. And hopefully we'll find an English article as well for the viewers here, so they will understand it. Okay. I have something open here. Let's have a look. Lukov Marsh. What is Lukov Marsh? Thank you for the donation, by the way. And let me know if this is it, right? Nie ne capitulirame. Okay, we are not giving up, it says. Lukov March is an annual torchlight procession organized by Bulgarian National Union in honorable memory of General Hristo Lukov. General Lukov was a World War I hero, Minister of War in Tsardom of Bulgaria, and later leader of the strongest nationalist organization at the time, Union of Bulgarian National Legions. He was cowardly murdered by communist terrorist group, story of the Balkans, shot in the back in front of his 9-year-old daughter. Wow, disgusting. Lukov March started in 2003 as a small local event with only 15 people. At that time, the memory of General Lukov was almost completely wiped out after decades of communist efforts. We need something like this in North Macedonia to revive the memory. Back then he was known only by a few people interested in history and by a few very old members of his organization who survived the communist concentration camps. The first Lukov March was organized after the story about General Lukov told by these old nationalists inspired by young members of BNU. No, I didn't know about this. I'm going to look into it much more after the stream. I'm going to keep this for later. Thank you very much for the donation. Appreciate it. And as I said before, man, Bulgaria is a blessing. It is the only country, obviously, in EU that is still eager to establish truth on the Balkans. But of course, the big guys of the EU, Germany, France, etc., they do not care for it anymore, right? The new governments are absolutely corrupt, disgusting New World Order puppets, and they do not care. They want to see separation. This is why we call it Balkanization, right? They want to see separate, small countries, and of course, they are against a big Bulgaria. And the amazing thing is that the people in Northern Macedonia don't want to reunite, most of them, with Bulgaria to actually have a strong force on the Balkans. Right? They do not even want that because they believe the Bulgarians are Tatars. Brainwashing. What should we do? It is what it is. Thank you very much for the super chat donation. Appreciate it. The one dude. Yeah. Drinking shots of urine. What was his name again? I actually was in contact with him. He was obviously against me eating meat again. But I had a talk with him. Seems to be a nice guy that's very misled. Honestly. He seemed really like a nice dude, but completely misled. This is what happens, man. This is when you lose focus. This is when you lose God. And you go down this dangerous route. It's absolutely unbelievable. Next thing you know, you're drinking piss. And you're washing your eyes with piss. In the pursuit of what exactly? Detoxing. Unbelievable. Rechtsextreme. Yes, Nazis everywhere. Everybody that is in support of good nowadays is a Nazi automatically. It is phenomenal. Bobby's chat flooded with Sverige. What is happening? Why is Sverige's chat support coming over here? What's going on? But welcome, nevertheless. Anyone who believes that they are saved by grace alone, through faith alone, in Christ alone, and not by works, lest anyone should boast, is a real Christian. Bobby, do you still eat mushrooms? Honestly, I haven't had any mushrooms since my Christian trip, if you want to call it that. Since then, nope. Nothing. I'm not against it. Not at all. But I just didn't feel the pull whatsoever. Okay. Let's go. Love is in the air. Love is in the air. Valentine's Day. Yes. A lot of love today.
Create a bright, green future where we all feel compassion.
A lot of Christians in the chat. Thank you very much. Jordan has super chatted 10 Australian dollars. I miss Australia. Keep up the great work, Bobby. The attack on the Lukov March is a NWO communist, Western, liberal attack on Bulgarian nationalism and traditionalism. We outlived even the Roman Empire. We will win. I talked to a Bulgarian patriot and we came to the same conclusion, man. The idea is that if you look into the history of Bulgaria, we see empires rising and falling, but Bulgaria is always coming back, right? It expands, it gets smaller, expands again, vanishes, comes back even stronger. So, man, there is unbelievable potential, and I do believe that we will see Bulgaria rise again. We have a lot of work to do. Hopefully, in my lifetime, we will see a reuniting of the great Bulgaria. That would be fantastic. Thank you very much for the donation, Jordan. I appreciate it. Anyways, Christians, Catholics, Protestants arguing. Let me show you, meanwhile, what was going on in Germany here. Because as long as we are arguing who's really Christian and who isn't, those guys came up with this. Jetzt auch Genderstern für Gott und Jesus. This is German, don't worry, I'm gonna translate it for you guys. The question is, first and foremost, let's acknowledge that Jesus is saved, right? He just lost his faith in God, apparently, and therefore needs a mask as well. Very afraid for his own life as a baby. That makes sense, perfectly. And the question is, wurde das Geschlecht von Jesus bei der Geburt festgelegt? Which means, did they assign the gender to baby Jesus at birth? Did they? Interesting. The gender question in German churches. And that is something that is obviously very needed because people have been asking for it. So those real Christians have been asking for the real gender. Oh, show compassion. Thank you yet again, Truth Son. Guys, you have to step up your game, man. Truth Son is donating. Help a brother out. He says, problem, brother, is those who really seek truth will find it. And truth unfolds life within us. And we mold. But most talk things not birthed in them. Yes, I agree with that as well. This is why I say, as a man that had that experience, we should first try to find God. That is the first and foremost thing that you should pursue. Everything else is superficial. So you can talk about things, you can seek to be better, you can seek to be more kind, right? You can seek to be more compassionate, to love thy neighbor, etc., etc., etc. You will always fail. You will always fail, right? If you have a free will, your free will, you're following your will, then you could change anything you wanted. Anything. You could change whatever you wanted. It wouldn't be an issue for you. Why do you make the same mistakes over and over again? Why? Right? If you acknowledge that you make mistakes, why can't you change it? And you can't. Right? You fail over and over and over again. If you're truly sinning, why can't you stop the sin? No matter how little, right? If you have a true free will and you can change something, why can't you? People say that they're Christians, that they're newborn, reborn, blah, 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 whatever. And they're still sinning, and they're still full of problems, troubles, stagnating in life, not living life to their true potential. Why? Why? Because the kingdom of God is within. And if you haven't found it, you can't change anything. Only God can change you. And for that, you have to inherit God. If you didn't, nothing changes then. Absolutely zero. Nothing changes. You have to find Christ. Without it, zero. And this is my next video. This is why I'm going to cut myself off here. I had a rant today, recorded and already edited. The video is coming out tomorrow. My members can already see it today. For the rest of you guys, it's going to be uploaded tomorrow. Jesus is the way. So, here you go. Für großes Aufsehen sorgte erstmals die katholische Studierendenjugend. So here you see it again. Again, another Catholic group. This is why we have to distinguish between Orthodoxy and Catholicism. And up until now, they were just writing Gott, which means God, obviously in German. But now, do you see this little star here? Can you see this? Little star. And that means that the gender for God is not clear. The gender for God hasn't been assigned, and they speak about Gottes Vielfalt, which means God's diversity. That's fantastic, right? So here you can see that the Catholic Church again promotes all kinds of heresies. We do not know what the gender is. It's not like anybody ever read in the Bible about the Father. Never. We're not too sure about the gender, right? I think it was in the 90s, early 2000s. God is a woman, right? Now that is not enough. God is not a woman anymore. Now doesn't have a gender. I can't even say he doesn't have a gender. Doesn't have a gender. And this is why this little star here, which signalizes the diversity of God. Great job, Catholics. Absolutely great job. Honigmulle, you angry today? No, not at all. God is a gender, apparently. That's what they say. I think I look angry because I have this shaved head. The shaved head makes me look angry and aggressive. I'm not angry at all. At this point, I'm just laughing. Every day. Bright smile. Just walking down the street, laughing. Enjoying the madness, enjoying the ride. Okay, let's get back to the chat yet again. I'm trying to make it more active. And before I'm just raving on here, I want to see who's in the chat. Maybe I can answer some questions. Black Pill Audris. Bobby, your inspiration, your past, and now I see how you progress like Elliot Hulse, but all stand alone. I haven't watched any Elliot Hulse, to be honest, but I heard that he was a Christian, or became a Christian, so that's good for him. AJ, I want to hear why you think Jesus, what the Bible says. What do you mean exactly? We all should rise against Islam and save our soldiers. God will help us. Islam is an absolute threat to the Western world, of course. And I said it many times before. At the moment, we have many issues, right? The biggest issue is that we didn't return to God. As humans, that we fell away from God. That's the biggest issue, right? And then we, of course, have symptoms. Symptoms can be a degenerate system, or symptoms can be a misled ideology / heretic religion. Absolutely. So I had talk with Muslims. I have friends that are Muslims, but I, of course, do not agree with Islam. I do not believe that Muhammad is a prophet to begin with. I really don't. And from my research, it just doesn't add up in the end. And thank you very much, Spare Artist. I'm going to read it out in a second. And I believe that Islam is obviously missing a huge missing link in that sense, which is Jesus. So yes, they say Jesus is a prophet, but if you do not acknowledge Jesus as the way to God, you're left with nothing. This is why you're left with nothing, with no love in that sense, which I talked about in my upcoming video. I'm kind of spoiling my whole video. That's not cool. Spare Artist, thank you very much, has donated $20. Thank you very much for the generous donation. I appreciate it. Thanks for spreading the truth. God bless, he says. Thank you very much for supporting this channel. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. I appreciate it. Thank you. Speaking about Islam, let's pull something up right here. I have a little article on Islam. Just give me a second. Which was another example of not having love. What I mean with that, you will see once I found the article. Can't take too long. Okay, here we are. Fantastic. Awesome, thank you very much, Truth Sun. Yet again, more support coming from Truth Sun, the biggest supporter on this channel today. Thank you. $2. You are angry because you are disobedient, not wearing mask. Exactly, all the fresh air is making me very, very angry. That is what it is. Too much fresh air, too much oxygen, right? Too much smiling makes me angry. Check this out. Breaking. Head of a media education project against anti-Muslim racism, right? He's the head of the media education project against anti-Muslim racism. So let's not be racist against Muslims. So what did he do? He detonates a bomb at an apartment building in Berlin. Special police units stormed his flat. The Berlin Senate funded his project with taxpayers' money. Fantastic. Shall we read on? This is exactly the point, guys. Let's face it. Multiculturalism, which is enforced, does not work. We, of course, had natural immigration, emigration throughout human history. That is completely normal, that is natural, that happens, right? And kingdoms intermarrying daughters, etc., etc. All of that happened. Thank you very much. We'll read it out in a second. Absolutely, that always happened. People traveled, people were nomadic, of course. But the way that is being enforced by the EU, by countries like Germany, where they take in 7, 8, whatever, millions of new refugees, you are creating destabilization. And that is actually a tactic that has been created by the Roman Empire. I don't know if you know that, but the Roman Empire back in the day, they wouldn't just conquer certain lands, but they would take out people of the land and immigrate other foreigners into their land to destabilize the community. Because everybody knows those people do not get along. It's that simple. So now, am I saying we need an ethno-state? Everybody needs to be white. Everybody needs to be just one nationality. That's not the point, but the basis, the skeleton, the backbone of the country needs to be founded on a certain principle, on a certain value system. What they did in Germany is they destroyed the German spirit, they infused it with a Jewish guilt, and since then they opened up the doors and everybody's storming in. The Germans, they hate themselves for being Germans, and they hate themselves for what Adolf did to the Jews. And the same applies to the Americans that hate themselves for being white now, for what they did to the blacks. It is a constant shaming process and a destabilization tactic. The people that are brought into those countries do not adapt, do not want to adapt. They want to keep their own culture. It is a forceful immigration. It leads to destabilization. That's just what it is. It's very simple. Yet again, might not look super German here with my long ass beard, but I always respected Germany. I have German friends that speak proper German, right? I don't look like a thug, maybe a little bit. And that is the whole point. You have to adapt to that culture. If I would go to America, I would adapt as much as I can to America. When I'm in Thailand, I adapt to Thailand. I say kop kun kap and I respect everybody. I'm not trying to bring the Balkan to Thailand, right? I'm not trying to build Orthodox churches and eat cevapcici every day. So this is what we see in Europe. It is very, very sad. Anyways, Truth Sun has super chatted. Yet again, thank you very much, Truth Sun. Appreciate it. Brother, you are 100% right. The world needs Jesus. Jesus is the missing link. This is why other religions do not work. It's that simple. And I know many religions claim the same. Oh, we have the truth. If you don't have Jesus, you're left with nothing. Next in my video, right? Coming up. Check it out. Okay. Following an explosion in a backyard in Berlin's Schöneberg, of course, district police have arrested 2 men. The pipe bomb, allegedly, it's always allegedly, detonated directly in front of a residential building on the street Isaakstraße at around 8:30 p.m. on Thursday evening. Residents called the police. Thank God. Investigators searched the yard and found a second explosive device that had not exploded yet. According to the police, police officers were able to arrest a 29-year-old suspect after a short investigation when he tried to escape from the apartment building. Since the door to a flat was locked and the officers assumed that a second suspect was hiding here. Special task force was called in, special forces, yada yada yada, 27-year-old man, etc, etc, etc. Long story short, radical Islam yet again. Radical Islam. Alright, the question is, of course, why it breeds such practices. The president of Poland said it himself. Do you see Polish people around the world bombing themselves up, blowing themselves up, exploding? We don't see them. Right? Christianity doesn't lead to this. This is my short take on Islam. Tomorrow, yet again, a longer take on it. And we have another super chat donation with music. Oh, show compassion. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. By John, yet again. It's just John, Truth Son, and Spare Artist here, guys. Step it up. Thank you very much. $5 Australian. A video or a few words, please, about your view, about everything you have learned, studied, and been taught in your life about the Second World War. Interesting. Would be a long video, would be a demonetized video at first, and then would be a deleted video, probably. So, a whole video on it would be quite hard, but let me, maybe I will do a video at some point. Right now I'm going to tell you that the history is always recited by the victors, and this is why we have such a mess on the Balkans, right? Because the victor was Serbia, basically, and this is why the Macedonians believe they are Macedonians and not Bulgarians, and the same is happening in Germany to this very day, right? So what I just talked about, the German guild, that is a tactic to destroy those people in Germany, which are beautiful, smart people, the best engineers on this planet, right? Therefore, I'm not a Holocaust denier, right, in that sense. I'm not saying that Adolf Hitler was an angel or anything on those lines. I'm just saying that, of course, as everything with the liberal leftist media, blown out of proportion completely, and it is put in a certain way, so the things that are happening right now can still happen. Okay? Very, very simple. So thank you very much, Jordan. I might do a video at some point, but this is all I can say for now. Thank you very much. Best for last, Tetovo, kako si? Best for last says Macedonia needs to unite with Bulgaria. That's our only hope. Thank you very much. Normal, sane, good people. Absolutely. That's the only way. Check this out. On that note, thank you very much. Best for last for this message. I appreciate it. I appreciate sanity. This year, right away, always complete transparency on this channel. I'm not pretending to have some sort of super critical and always as objective as it can be information here, because what I'm reading out here is Greek City Times. So I want to make this clear. This is not an objective source, right? I'm always transparent about what I read out. If I read a Wikipedia page, I'm going to tell you it's a Wikipedia page. If it is a Greek City Times page, I'm going to read it out. Of course, it's going to be anti-Macedonian, for sure. But I'm not reading it out because I'm so pro-Greek, even though genetically there's a lot of Greek in me. But I'm reading it out because there's an interesting sentence here. Skopje might have a decision to make. Greater Bulgaria or Greater Albania. Thank you very much. I'm going to read out in a second, my friend. I see a new name there. That is good. Appreciate it. North Macedonia's EU accession talks are being halted because of Bulgaria's insistence, yes, we can say so, we should insist, that the neighboring country stops appropriating history and acknowledges it speaks a Bulgarian dialect. Thank you very much. Best for last. Appreciate it. I'm going to read it out in a second. So, yet again, acknowledges it speaks a Bulgarian dialect. This is something that Macedonians cannot wrap their head around. For this, again, the Overton window, right? Back in the day, it was unthinkable to believe that you are a Macedonian. Everybody knew that they were Bulgarian. Then you had some radical outliers that set this in motion, if you will, that Macedonianism is a ethnicity. Then it became acceptable. Then it became sensible. Then it became popular. And then all of a sudden it became policy. Right within Yugoslavia, it became policy and everybody became Macedonian. Then it was maybe still popular with some to say that they're Bulgarians. Then it was still sensible to say that you are a Bulgarian. It was still acceptable until it became radical, and nowadays it is unthinkable. The Overton window is like a mirror, and it starts with an idea where it's unthinkable to be anything else than a Bulgarian, and continues to become unthinkable to be anything else than a Macedonian. What has happened? Right? Unbelievable. Anyways, again, back to the article. However, the issue escalated recently when Bulgarian Defense Minister Krasimir Karakachanov said North Macedonia can only become an EU member if it became a part of Bulgaria or an Albanian province. So now, again, always full transparency. This is a Greek article, but this sentence, it seems only radical if you are in the Macedonist/communist perspective. This is the truth. If you're not becoming part of Bulgaria again, which is your birthright, which is actually quite amazing and you should embrace, you're going to become an Albanian province. Tetovo, best for last, you know exactly what is going on. Tetovo is 90% Albanians. 90% Albanians. Tetovo is not what it used to be. I said it before. We have to be objective about this. Hate doesn't bring you anywhere. Zero doesn't help anybody. We have to be objective. The reality of things is the Albanians are the better workers. They are on point. They are disciplined. They run better businesses. The Macedonians will complain, oh, but that is all drug money. This doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Nobody's stopping you. But all the Macedonians are selling their property. They're taking off to Skopje. It's true. I've seen it. Right? They're selling off their properties to Albanians. The Albanians establish Albanian businesses. They employ Albanians. Now Albanian is the second language in Macedonia, Northern Macedonia. It is the truth. That's what's going on. And this is why it will become an Albanian province. Mark my word, if you don't become part of Bulgaria again. And you understand who you truly are. And this is a true blessing of God. Why? Because God is truth. And as long as you don't acknowledge the truth, you will live in a lie and you will suffer. And the Macedonian people, the Bulgarians in Macedonia, will of course suffer if it becomes a complete Albanian province. But that is the natural order of things, and the more dominant culture will overtake. And the Albanians are great at it. That is the truth. They will definitely outbreed us, best for last, 100%. The birth rates are through the roof. 10 children, we don't have that. Most Macedonians, 1 or 2 children, and that's about it. Right? It will be the demise of that country. It's in full effect as it is. It will happen. Okay, but now let me read out the super chat by Adent1023 has donated $3. Thank you very much. Hey Bobby, much love from the US. What are your thoughts on Sverige thinking about moving to Tanzania? I'm not watching his channel really, so I didn't know that he wants to move to Tanzania. Really? That's interesting. I have no thoughts on that, brother. Thank you very much for the donation, but I have no idea why anybody would move to Tanzania, to be totally honest. What is waiting there? Maybe I should look into it. So, all the best for him. Good luck. Bulgarian and Macedonian is the same language. Thank you very much, Best for Last. $10 donation. I appreciate it. Didn't attach a question, but we are in contact here in the chat. Hvala ti mnogo I pozdrav. It's a matter of time before Albanians will breed us, she said. Yes. Bulgarian deny if you want Macedonia is Bulgarian. Fantastic. And Macedonia will have to unite with Bulgaria. They are our blood. Absolutely. It's quite amazing that people don't see it. If you do a DNA test, it will say you're Bulgarian. But then Macedonians will go so far and say that is a conspiracy theory as well. Unbelievable. Bulgarian is a Slavic language. In fact, direct heir to Old Church Slavonic. Absolutely. Macedonia is neither Bulgarian nor Greek. That is a lie. That doesn't make sense. Think about it logically. Let me... I almost said once and for all. Yet again, as if that really works. I'm going to try to explain it. And I will get backlash, as always. I don't really care. At all. Macedonia. Right? Macedonia itself is and always will be and always was a Greek word. Let me just Google this real quick so I can show you this. So people will understand this. Okay, here we go. 1 second. Just a second. Here we are. So we can have a look at this. Okay. That should be it. Again, full transparency. It's Wikipedia. It's Wikipedia. He always just shows Wikipedia, right? The name Macedonia is used in a number of competing or overlapping meanings to describe geographical, political, and historical areas, language, and people in part of Southeast Europe. Okay. So that is not what we're looking for. We're looking for the word itself. The name Macedonia derives from the Greek Macedonia, a kingdom, later region, named after the ancient Macedonians from the Greek Macedonians, explaining as having originally meant either the tall ones or highlanders. The word Macedon is first attested in Herodotus, which is obviously a Slavic name, as the name which the Greek ethnos was called, which was later called Dorian, when it settled around Pindus mountain range. Macedon is related to the ancient Greek adjective Makednos, meaning tall, slim. We're not that tall and not that slim in Macedonia. After tested in Homer and Hesychios of Alexandria in its feminine form Makedni, meaning long and tall, it cognates with the words makros, long, large, and mekos, length, both deriving from the Indo-European root mak, meaning long or slender, etc., etc. Linguist, blah, 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 blah. So the point, very, very simple. Macedonia is a Greek word. That's it. That's for sure. Ancient Macedonia was Greek for all intents and purposes. That's it. Alexander was Greek. That's it. Done. Simple. But, and this is where I disagree a bit with the Greek perspective, when we speak about Macedonia, the Macedonia of the 1800s, 1900s, that Macedonia was a region, and in that region of Macedonia, predominantly, we had a Slavic Bulgarian population. That's just what it is, right? So even though, yet again, Macedonia, the terminology is absolutely Greek and goes back to the ancient Greeks, for sure, guaranteed, still the region Aegean part, Pierian part, Vardar part was basically mainly Bulgarian. That's what it is. Were there Greeks living there? For sure. Albanians, Turks? For sure. 100%. However, we are speaking about that region nowadays. And this is where we have to separate what we are talking about. A lot of semantics, a lot of different perspectives on that subject matter. Macedonia is always Greek. Yeah, well, sure, the name, the terminus, but the areas of Macedonia were populated by Bulgarians. And nowadays, by Bulgarians and confused Bulgarians. Okay. The Polish guy visiting Aegean Macedonia is a Macedonist. Too bad. I absolutely agree with that. And I saw the documentary 100%. It's ridiculous. We are speaking about Prilest. Bobby, did you watch the documentary The Macedonian? Yes, it's by that Polish guy from Macedonia. Yeah, it's not from Macedonia, right? He goes to the Greek part. He is brought up in Poland, as far as I know. And his parents come from the Aegean part, or what have you. Yeah, it's a mass confusion that's unbelievable, man. Looking at Africa, I find it quite funny because I've been studying a little bit of the history of Africa. I got interested. And now I'm going to sound super racist, right? Listen to this. But it's true. For us white people, when you see a continent and all the people are black, you're wondering why those tribes are fighting with each other. You're really wondering, why don't you unite, right? You're one people. And the same goes when you look into the history of Thailand, Burma, Vietnam. You really wonder why those Asians fight with each other, right? Why don't they just unite? And it's the same, but exponentially much, much crazier thing that happens on the Balkans, where you have a tiny, tiny little breakaway civilization of Macedonists, 1.5 Slavs that can't understand that they're actually Bulgarians. Unbelievable. Life is funny that way. Bobby's perspective. Why don't you collab more often with other Orthodox YouTubers? There's some great dudes out there like Jonathan Pago, never heard of him, or Jay Dyer, who are leading converts daily. Jay Dyer is doing fantastic work, and if we speak about, let's say, intellectual knowledge, Jay Dyer is the man to go to, 100%, and he has much more knowledge in that sense than I ever could. I'm not even that keen on acquiring that much historical and even philosophical knowledge on the Orthodox subject. For me, Orthodoxy was a direct path to God, to love in that sense, to truth. And therefore, I'm not too keen on spending too much time in my intellect. If anything, I'm trying to get away from it, which doesn't mean that I'm not interested to speak to other Orthodox people. Quite the opposite. Actually, what was his name again? The Church of the Eternal Logos is the channel. And he invited me for a chat. We're going to talk about psychedelics because we both come from a background of psychedelics, New Age-ism. And we're going to talk about Orthodoxy for sure. Jay Dyer is doing fantastic work. Really amazing. At some point we will speak, for sure. Kirill too, at Samuel's Fortress, he's good. I love Kirill's videos, concise, well presented. Again, through him, I got to know about those books here. Concise History of Bulgaria, check it out, good book. And interesting again, the medieval Balkans, the early medieval Balkans. Interesting book as well. Thanks to Kirill. Shout out Samuel's Fortress. Check it out. Again, the history is pretty clear. Only in Skopje they will tell you that they... We don't know, right? We just don't know. We can't figure it out. Okay. Now, Hey, I like the stream, guys. Thank you very much for participating. Today it's fun. I can hang back a bit and not play the anchor man, as I said, but chat a bit with you guys. We're still gonna go through some videos and some articles, but I want to answer some questions first, connect with you guys. Macedonia is Bulgaria. You are fake. Who are you speaking to? Okay. Let me just scroll back here. Let me see what I can find. Bulgaria just wanted to liberate its people. Absolutely. You can't make them understand. They don't get it. And I really believe that only God can give you eyes. Don't even try. Spread the truth, but don't try to persuade anybody. You cannot make them. It's impossible. No matter if we are speaking about Macedonia, the truth about it, no matter what it is. If you try to convince people of truth, they're leaning away. Just speak your truth, be honest. That's all you can do with anything in life. Doesn't matter. Politics, nutrition. Man, if I would go to vegans and tell them, listen, you have to eat meat, they would never do it, right? So I'm just telling them about my experience. I'm telling them why veganism doesn't work. I speak about it, etc., etc. You cannot convince anybody about truth. Impossible. Don't even try. It's a waste of time. And it will possibly even push them further away. Don't even try. When I did ayahuasca, I saw the Indian Buddha playing the guitar and the xylophone on the other side of the room. He was golden and had a little smile. That's amazing. Well, Islam has Jesus, not as Messiah though, and that is the problem. Yes, exactly. That's just what I said. Islam has a missing link, and let's be honest. I mean, 500, 600 years later, Islam comes about, and they come up with a new story about Jesus. It's unlikely, let's put it that way, right? That Jesus himself had it wrong, but now Islam has it right, and it contradicts exactly what Jesus said, basically, and he's not the Messiah. It's kind of like returning to Judaism, but in a more extreme, radical way. Welcome to the Balkans, where everyone hates each other, pretty much. They love to hate. Do you have a date scheduled for the Church of Eternal Logos collab? Not scheduled yet, but we definitely wanted to do it February, so now it's honestly up to me. So I have to get my butt up and get to it. Anyways, guys, I have a little video that I want to show you. I haven't seen this before, and I hope we're gonna stay online. So if the stream gets deleted right away, it is probably because this is copyrighted. Could be. We're gonna try to play a few seconds. I'm trying to squeeze this in here. It's a children's YouTube channel, and children's YouTube channel, man, if you want to be successful in YouTube, don't even bother making any type of other content than children's content, really. Children's content generates hundreds of millions of clicks. It's unbelievable, and it's very sad, because I've seen little kids on their phones. Why do kids have phones? Toddlers. And they just click on random videos, and they keep on running, keep on repeating, autoplay, etc., etc. And those little kids are watching kid YouTube all the time. However, what are our children exposed to? That is the question. So today we're going to see what those children are exposed to, what YouTube is promoting, what has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of clicks. Quite disturbing, if you ask me. Let me just adjust this video. Here we are. Perfect. Fantastic. It works. Unbelievable. Okay. With no further ado, no spoiler, let's just have a look. Let me just make my bold, shiny head a bit smaller here. Here we go. Like so. So you can enjoy this. And again, if the stream gets deleted, it's because of copyright. I hope it isn't copyrighted. Let's see. Yes, stay home, stay safe. All those rules are just great. Did you hear that? Never question those rules. They're completely unconstitutional. It's illegal, basically, what your government is doing to you. But don't worry about it. Now it's legal. Now everything is just good. Just do it the way that the good grown-ups tell you this is the right way. Stay home, stay safe. I'm going to keep this as a background. Isn't this fantastic? Right? Very, very soon we're going to have videos, 100%, about children begging for the vaccine. Of course, it's all normal. Welcome to the new normal. I love it. The recipe for a weak immune system, way to go. Absolutely, man. They're staying safe, staying at home, ordering at Amazon, disinfecting the paper box, because the paper box contains corona as well. Daddy is a soy boy, 100%. They probably ordered Beyond Burgers that they can cook at home, because that is clean meat and not disgusting, dirty meat, like real quote-unquote meat. Disgusting. Anyways, that is that. I thought I'm going to share it with you. Maybe a few months back, I would have been outraged. Nowadays, I'm just loving it. I love this new normal. I love being surrounded by insane people. It's absolutely great. This is where humanity wants to go. And it's going to get crazier from here, believe me. Humanity has to return to God. Otherwise, we're going to go further and further into hell. And this is, of course, what is happening at the moment. In case you don't know how to
Let's talk about this mask thing, because now the CDC says, I mean, I think I've got this right. 1 mask is better than 0 masks. 2 masks is better than 1 mask. But you don't have to have double masks. Is that right? I mean,
you know, it is. In fact, you know, Savannah, you and I had this conversation on your show. I mean, it must have been a month or so ago, because someone had said, I've seen people wear 2 masks. The recommendation is not that you have to wear it. What the CDC is saying,
the recommendation is, of course, not that you have to do anything, but actually you have to do everything. The rules are just good.
That at minimum, wear a mask, okay? This is what they're saying.
Right. That's the thing, right? Back, again, just a year back, a few months back, you didn't have to wear any mask. Now, not wearing a mask, how will it be enforced? By setting again a new normal where you have to wear 2 masks. Don't have to. Can, potentially. Now the good people will wear 2 masks and everybody else will wear at least 1 mask. Come on, man. Right? What are you? A corona denier? At least 1 mask. If you don't wear the recommended 2. It's brainwashing. At this stage, I really believe it is an experiment that is here to establish what they can get away with whilst creating the New World Order. That's pretty much it. It is a test. Let's see what those idiots will do. If we tell them wear 2 masks, will they do it? The statistics are clear now, right? The science is settled. 1 mask stops 50% of coronavirus. 2 masks, 75%, and I believe 3 masks is 90%. So as you can see, there is still space, right? What will stop 100%? Maybe if you wear a full body suit condom, that could help.
Make sure you wear a mask. So you wear a mask. Then you want it to fit better. So one of the ways you could do it, if you would like to, is put a cloth mask over, which actually here and here and here, where you could get leakage in, is much better contained.
Much better.
Okay.
That's all we're saying. 1 mask at least, but if you want to really be sure, get a tighter fit with the second mask.
So wait a minute, are you a
tighter fit because you're exhaling toxic gas?
Double masker, Dr. Fauci? It looked like you are.
Well, I have. In fact,
did you hear that? Look at this.
Masker?
Look at this leftist brainwashing. Look what she asked him. Listen closely.
Get a tighter fit with the second mask.
So wait a minute. Are you a double masker, Dr. Fauci? It looks
so wait a minute. Are you a double masker? Hey!
like you are.
Look where you are, so maybe we should be too, like Dr. Fauci.
Well, I have. In fact, I have used it occasionally, mostly, Savannah, for what the CDC is saying. The fit is better. If you get the surgical mask on.
The fit is better. Yeah, just suffocate. Then the fit then the fit will be the best.
On, and you put a cloth mask over, those areas around where some aerosol can get in are better fitting. Okay. So again,
right, so no air is supposed to get,
minimal, at least one mask, likely a double ply type of mask would be good. But if you want to get, if you want to do it further, just get a better fit.
Got it. Okay, real quickly, we're going to answer a bunch of viewer questions next hour, but I know the...
And people are not questioning why we always take the same doctor, right? Always the same doctor, come back, tell us about it. The same doctor that is well connected to Bill Gates, etc., talked about it, Rothschild families, you know it. Always the same doctor. And nobody's questioning it. Oh, it's just Dr. Fauci that hasn't practiced in decades. Just Dr. Fauci. He knows exactly what is going on. Nobody else.
Number one thing has to do with, folks who are elderly, our moms and dads, my kids' grandparents. A lot of them are getting their vaccines now. And once they're fully vaccinated, can they see their kids? Can they see their grandkids? Can they?
That is the question, right? Once everybody is fully vaccinated, that's what we want. Can we go back to our grandparents and hug them?
Go to a restaurant? Can they go to Costco? I mean, once they're fully vaccinated, can they go back to their normal lives?
Fully vaccinated, what does that even mean, right? 2 vaccines, 3?
Lives.
In essence, ultimately, yes. The thing you...
In essence, ultimately, yes, but...
you would like to see, Savannah, is if you have 2 parties vaccinated. And that's the question we get asked more often.
You all have to take it. It's very, very simple. This equation doesn't work if not everybody takes it.
If I'm vaccinated and my daughter who lives in Boston comes home and she's vaccinated, can we get much more of this pulling back on restrictions and saying we can sit down together without a mask, we can give each other a hug? And the answer ultimately is going to be yes with that. But
positive news, positive news. If you obey, you will be able to.
If grandma's vaccinated but grandkid isn't?
Yeah, then you got to be careful because grandma could still get virus in her nasopharynx.
Yes, reasonable. See, she's nodding. It's reasonable. Yes, it's true. You cannot hug grandma. This is ultimately, let's face it, man. This is ultimately absolute no faith. This is what we see here. People do not believe in God. This is why they have no faith, and this is why they believe men. They believe people. They believe everything those people will say. Simple. They're scared for their lives. When I see those old people walking around with masks, I'm really wondering. You haven't found to God your entire life. You're still of so little faith, so scared that you will trust anybody but God. When your day has come, your day has come. People cannot accept what is. Unbelievable.
Grandma could still get virus in her nasopharynx, even though the vaccine is preventing her from getting physically.
That's where corona is. It's here in the nasal pharynx. But on your shoes as well, and when you touch the Amazon packet too. So
she still could have virus in her nasopharynx.
Oh, dirty grandma.
And that's the reason why we say until we have the overwhelming majority of people vaccinated and the level of virus is very low, when you're vaccinated, it would be prudent to wear a mask for the reason that I just mentioned.
Okay.
Right, exactly. There you go. Yet again, you hear it here. It is always the same. Get the vaccine, get the vaccine. We need 70% of the people to get the vaccine. If you do, however, you still have to wear the mask because most deniers didn't take it yet. Now we have to wait until everybody takes it, and when everybody took it, guess what? Now it doesn't really work anymore because now we have a mutation. Now we need a new vaccine. Yet again, we're going to speed up the process and you're just going to go through vaccination every single year. Like an antivirus update, right? This is what it is. Antivirus update, like in Microsoft. Every year a new antivirus program. That's what the vaccine allegedly is, right? Every single year a new one. It will continue until people go with it. It's very, very simple. 1 second. It is very, very simple. It will continue as long as you guys don't stand up. That's the truth. As long as you obey, this will continue forever. It won't stop. There is no stop to this. And I don't understand, really. I actually do. Because I know people are delusional and people fell for the lie. People fell for the devil. People have no God, no love in their heart, nothing. This is why people still believe those charlatans. 2 weeks to flatten the curve. 2 more months. 3 more months. Another year. Now we are full circle. And still, right? Still, undisputed champion, Corona. It will go on forever. It will continue, guys. If you don't say enough is enough. Anyways, guys, quick break. I'm gonna be back in a minute. Quick break. I'm gonna keep on rolling here today on Valentine's Day. Okay, double commercial there. Sorry for that, guys. I just went to the living room and got surprised by my woman. She surprised me for Valentine's Day. How soy boyish is that of me? With a bunch of sushi. Amazing. It's my favorite food. She surprised me with a huge platter, which means we have only little time left before I will have to enjoy the rest of the evening with my woman, and enjoy some fresh sushi. That is a very, very beautiful surprise. I'm happy. So, yet again, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Okay, let me see in the chat what is going on. This will continue for the next 10 years. Absolutely. If they do not stand up, it will continue until 2030. The whole agenda keeps on going and going and going. They don't like free-range humans. Aliens only eat vaccinated humans. Exactly right. We have to be sterilized. That is what is going on. Yes, people will have to stand up. Otherwise, it just keeps on going. And I'm amazed by the patience, let's call it that, by the patience of the people. I don't know what they're waiting for, honestly. I have no clue. but they simply do not want to believe what is going on. Most normies that I spoke to, they simply don't want to. They don't want to see the government in that light. They want to believe. It's really like that. They want to believe that the government has their best interest at heart. It's true. That's the explanation. They trusted the government, they worked, they paid their taxes, and they want to believe in their government. That's many normies. No joke. Quite sad, but it's the truth. Anyways. It will go on, because now they play the card of mutations. Simple, right? Germany is set to stay in lockdown for fear of virus mutations. Draft document. Again, I don't know who is afraid. Probably everybody that believes the media. Who is really afraid? Though Germany has slowed the spread of coronavirus, top officials are expected to keep the restrictions in place. The top officials. According to draft document seen by Deutsche Welle. Corona, lockdown, geschlossen, everything closed, destroy the business, doesn't matter. German officials are considering lifting some measures in the coming weeks, but the shutdown will continue for now. That's great. Who needs a gym, right? Who needs to be healthy? Nobody. Deutsche Welle learned on Tuesday. Federal and state representatives are set to announce their decision tomorrow. Considering the virus mutations, scary. The steps to lift the restrictions must come carefully and gradually. Sure, again, just as last year, carefully and gradually until we reach winter again, and oopsie, yet again another mutation, and now it's so cold, and corona is spreading everywhere because of it. Yes, of course. Bobby, did you watch Joe Rogan Experience? No, I haven't. I haven't actually watched Joe Rogan since he went to Spotify. With Elon Musk and how music said we will be establishing a human population. Not music, Musk. What is wrong with you? Musk said we will be establishing a human population on Mars. Yeah, I wait for that. Space is fake and gay. We already know that. I don't believe in populating Mars. Anyhow. Okay, so considering the virus mutations, the steps to lift the restrictions must come carefully and gradually in order to avoid risking the successful curbing of infections. Blah, blah, blah. Every year the same. And this will continue year and year again. You can play the mutation card forever. You understand that, right? The flu, the common flu, is mutating every year. You know that, right? So corona will be mutating every year. Every single year. It won't stop. It will never stop. Planet lockdown forever. Forever. It's true. Frank Tufano is gay. That's why I will not support his business. I heard that Frank Tufano is taking off YouTube, right? Allegedly. I don't believe it. Maybe many people run away from personal responsibility. This is why they blindly trust authorities. Yeah, of course. But yet again, I really do see in many peoples that they don't want to let go of that trust that they established. It is almost like an abusive partner, right? It's really the same. It's Stockholm Syndrome, basically. They don't want to acknowledge the truth. They don't want to understand that the government is abusing them. They don't want to understand this, and this is why they keep on suffering, and they stay in that delusion. Anyways, enough of that for now. We're going to return to this. But first, quick. Trump celebrates his acquittal, says the impeachment was part of a witch hunt. So I'm happy about this. Applause. Nice to see that they're not creating yet again another Adolf Hitler. Somebody that will be forever guilty, forever in depth, forever erases the worst. So the impeachment, the second impeachment, did not fly. Thank God. Very good. A huge win for the right wing, for the Nazis. That's nice to hear. But of course, what is following is typical liberal BS. Biden has started erasing Trump's legacy. Now the hard part starts. Right? Check this out. President Biden launched his administration with nearly 50 executive actions, variously described in the media as a barrage, a blitz, and a burst. What did he do? He went back, or eradicated, blitzed Trump's rules on abortion. That's what he did. And of course, the pro-choice, the liberals, the absolute Satanists, like this dark figure here in the background, they of course are for this. Happy, happy, happy. More abortions, more free abortions, more late-term abortions, more 9-month abortions. Absolutely awesome. He eradicated those things. Other thing as well, he stopped the building of the wall, or the fence, call it what you will. Right? So more immigrants and more abortions. That's what this man is doing for America. Fantastic. Now they're gonna start. Nothing is in their way anymore. People are dumbed down, people are idiots. And they love to follow this. That's unbelievable. It was very close, as you can see. Guilty, 57. Not guilty, 43. The question is Article 1. Apparently, the Senate has failed. A refusal to convict a guilty insurrectionist and a failure to call witnesses against him, he who must not be named, is a tragic abandonment of accountability. Every member of the United States Senate swears an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies. The enemies are within, of course, as always, foreign and domestic, and makes a commitment to bear true faith and allegiance to the same. After the House of the Representatives impeached Donald Trump for the incitement of insurrection that resulted in the deadly January 6, 2021 attack on the Capitol. Again, what has been done at the Capitol was wrong. You should never act violently. It's very simple. Every time you do that, they will use it against you. It doesn't work. But who exactly died? Right? Nobody talks about the rioting, about the looting, the deadly Capitol attack. Wow! Unbelievable, right? And this is why he had to be impeached, even though he was already leaving office. Even though he said everybody should go home. They're trying to create an Adolf Hitler out of him, but they failed. That is fantastic. That's really good news. Happy to hear. But this is something that is happening in America and worldwide in a similar fashion. They're pulling the racist card on everything. If you are squeamish, you shouldn't be watching this. The title is Stop Killing Us. Attacks on Asian Americans highlight rise in hate incidents amid COVID-19. Look away if you don't want to see violence, which I can understand. Come on, load. Computer, internet. That's an ad. We're gonna watch commercials here. La di da di da, la di da da. That's right. Donate now. No. Okay, let's have a look. Graphic content. Be aware.
There have been a string of violent attacks on Asian Americans across the country in recent weeks that had gone widely unreported.
Disgusting.
Last Thursday, an 84-year-old Thai American was murdered in San Francisco. He died this week. On Wednesday, a 64-year-old Vietnamese grandmother was assaulted in San Jose. And on the same day, a Filipino American was slashed across the face on a subway in Manhattan.
2019 Nobel Peace Prize nominee, civil rights activist, and Rise CEO Amanda Wynn went viral, drawing attention to some of the...
Cześć, Polska. What is happening here? Anyways, you saw it. Long story short, very interesting. Before I disclose what is going on here, let's just observe this, right? So we saw an attack here on an Asian man. Stop killing us. The Asians are speaking out, which is good. Attacks on Asian Americans highlight rise in hate incidents amid COVID-19. We do not know that, right? That the attacks of those Asians was due to COVID-19, that people assume that the Asians are the super spreaders. Not too sure. But check out what the liberal leftist media wants you to believe now. A series of violent crimes against Asians and Asian Americans has prompted activists and experts to warn that racist rhetoric about the coronavirus pandemic may be fueling a rise in hate incidents. Okay, they're gonna make it about racism. Okay, fair enough, I guess. Let's continue. Police in Oakland, California announced this week that they arrested a suspect in connection with brutal attacks of a 91-year-old man in Chinatown that was caught on camera. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, racist attacks. Fair enough. Let's check another article out. Anger and fear as Asian American seniors targeted in Bay Area attacks. Yet again, okay. Business and civil rights groups in California are demanding action after a recent surge of xenophobic, right, violence, again racism, violence against Asian Americans in San Francisco Bay Area. Left one person dead and others badly injured. It continues, continues, continues. Again, racism, racism, racism. Another article. Here.
In the Bay Area recently, a series of violent attacks targeting Asian Americans, particularly the elderly. And there has been more of the same across the country. Reporter Zorin Shah looks at what may be behind the violence and what's being done about it.
This week, Bay Area law enforcement ramping up ahead of the Lunar New Year after a string of violent attacks against elderly Asian Americans. In one case, a 70-year-old grandmother was pushed to the ground and beaten.
Look at this.
She did get really bad bruises.
The group Stop Asian American Pacific Islander Hate says since mid-March of last year until the end of 2020, they received over 2,800 accounts of anti-Asian hate attacks from across the country, some of them blaming the anti-Asian rhetoric from former President Donald Trump.
It comes from China. That's why. It comes from China. I want to
Which is true, right?
be accurate. Yeah, please, John.
One Bay Area community resident telling ABC's Kana Whitworth the violence is getting worse.
The frequency is much higher, the number is much higher, and the attack is more
you get
severe.
the idea. Again, racism, racism, orange man bad, everybody's attacking the Asians. Everybody? No. Who is it exactly, right? It is racism. Racism is only linked to white people. Only white people like Trump, orange people, can be xenophobic and racist. The reality of things is, I don't know if you noticed, every single attacker in those videos, and I've seen many of them, and many are just absolutely repulsive, you can't even show them, are committed by black Americans. That is the truth. Again, you can call me racist, I don't really care. My girlfriend is half white, half black. I really don't mind. You can call me what you will. The reality of things is, this is being twisted. They're black attackers. You saw it yourself every single video. It's always younger black people attacking older Asian people. Is it due to Trump's speech? I thought only white people listen to Trump. So that cannot be. It is always black people, it's true, that attack those Asians. This is not racism. This is what is going on. This is the truth. You see that the black people attack the Asian people. That's just an observation, right? But they're going to make it about white supremacy, about Trump, about racism. Why? Right? Why? There's a clear agenda at hand. And those Asians, they should speak out. Here, again. It's not just the shades. It's a black person. Here. Right? It's him. But they're going to make it about racism. It's crazy. They're not mentioning it. They're not talking about black racism, whatever, right? If you want to name it that. Of course, those people are just absolutely misled and very horrible human beings. Who attacks a grandma? I don't know, man. On the Balkan, we learn that you respect your elders. Never heard anything like this, never saw anything like this before. Unbelievable. But anyways, this is the push that we see. And it will all be blamed on white racism. Everything that you see, Corona, Trump, white racism. Black people attacking Asians. White people have nothing to do with this, but it's white racism. All the time. Unbelievable. Anyways, okay, let me just get back to the chat for a while. As I said, this stream, I want to lay back. Guys, if you want to support this stream, yet again, Streamlabs donations, super chats are prioritized. You help me out with this to keep this channel running. I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, 1 second. Here we are. Fantastic background. There's nothing better than new retro wave and 80s grids. I love it. The Truth says, I think the mental gymnastics goes something like the black people were disadvantaged by slavery and forced to commit those crimes. Yeah, whatever. Could be. It is absolutely unbelievable. This has nothing to do with white people, right? Or with white supremacy or white racism. But even if you have black attacking Asians, this is why I show you this example, the liberal media will still make it about being white. It is unbelievable, right? It's so twisted, but this is what we get if you believe in Satan, directly or indirectly, doesn't matter, rather than God. Probably just peaceful BLM protesters, exactly. Bobby, you can play fake woke, you can stop it time to time, no need to play it once. The Jihad. Yeah, man, but again, songs in general, then I really have to stop it every 5 seconds or so. It's gonna demonetize the stream again, gonna kick me off. We're already pushing every single button here on YouTube. So, yeah, I really can't do that. But I appreciate it. Thank you very much, man. It absolutely was the China virus. When people get offended, they call it racism. People get offended by calling things what they are. And this is because people love the lies. And they are completely on the path of the devil. It's very simple. I say it every single time here. When you say that a vegan diet will rot your brain and is malnourishment, they will get angry because they love the lies. When you tell somebody from Macedonia that they have Bulgarian history, they will hate you because they love the lies. And it's the same thing here. Just the same thing here. Those people want to live in the lie. And if you present them with something, hey, this is a Chinese virus. Oh, racism, white racism. Unbelievable. Has nothing to do with white people whatsoever. African countries are really racist over whites. Why does nobody talk about it? Because there is no interest. Right? They don't care about it. Because they're not trying to destabilize anything. There, it's already destabilized. Now they're trying to destabilize the rest of Europe and America. Can't all the meat-eating, non-mask-wearing, non-vaccine-taking people all gather in one place and make their own country? I would go there. That is my idea as well. Let's make Bulgaria great again, and maybe we can accomplish that. Mateusz. Hi Bobby, greetings from Poland. Cześć. Kamala is Finnish word for terrible or horrible. And now it makes sense, finally. The virus is nature's way of saying we have a bunch of soy boys and it's time to take out the trash. Yeah, let's go. Frankie's Fairy Boy Twin Club. Bobby, can we get your ass to Mars right now? Yeah. Morg Official made a video on Jesus and saying that Christians believe in Satan. That is funny to hear. I might check it out. it is always twisted, yet again. But you don't have to be angry at those people, right? They're very misled. They're just angry. They follow the devil. That's about it. Those people, it doesn't matter what they say. They love lies. Vlad Balkan, hvala Bobby. Alright, but guys, I have some sushi to demolish. My beautiful, mixed, interracial, half-white woman made some sushi or bought some sushi. I don't even know where she got it from. Fantastic. I can't wait to devour it and to have some romantic, super romantic evening. It is Valentine's Day after all. I hope you enjoyed the stream. We sacrificed some time here away from our loved ones to meet my digital loved ones. Now I'm sounding like a real YouTuber. Love you guys. Now, thank you very much. All jokes aside, appreciate the support. Thank you very much. Without the super chat, without the Streamlabs donations, we cannot make this channel happen whatsoever because YouTube demonetized everything. It's the truth. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Have a happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Check out the links in the description box. Maybe there's something for you. We have organ meats, CBD, t-shirts, and much more. You can support this channel offline as well through Streamlabs, PayPal, and now we even have a crypto wallet. Isn't that fantastic? You can support this channel offline as well. And we read out your Streamlabs donations on every stream, even the offline ones. Thank you very much. Again, guys, if you liked it, just leave it a thumbs up or 2 or 10. If you haven't subscribed already and you made it through a 2-hour something live stream, that would be weird. But then make sure to subscribe. The truth, the last minute, last second donation. Thank you very much for the $5. I appreciate it, man. Has donated $5 and says, take care, Bobby. You too, brother. Stay strong in this crazy day and age. Insanity. The devil is ruling, but we stay strong here. Thank you very much, everybody. And as always, may God bless you all. Much love and peace.